Appa, no, Appa, no. Oh, yep, that's Appa. Welcome back to the vlog, everybody. I don't even know what day of Vlogmas it is, but it's another day of Vlogmas. It is December 8th, and we are doing some testing with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 today and color grading. So I got this DJI Osmo Pocket 3 from work, using it to film on the golf course, film vlogs, get any updates from touring equipment manufacturers, and getting equipment reviews, basically. Anything for work, this thing should be used. And I noticed that some of the coloring over the last couple of weeks is just kind of off. I think I've seen this on TikTok quite a bit. People are reviewing this camera and the color is weird. So I'm testing out some settings and going to actually do some filtering or color grade application through CapCut. I'm trying to keep it super simple because the editing still needs to be fast, but I'm really hoping that we can fix the washed out colors that I've been seeing with this camera. So I went ahead and found the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 D-Log Recovery color grading filter. I think that's what you call it. And I got that downloaded and we're gonna test it out right now. For reference, everything I'm filming right now is set to this special D-Log setting. So hopefully, because this is getting posted and shared, all of the footage looks good. So I'm in CapCut in desktop mode right now. I've gone in and added the file that I downloaded, the color grading LUT, into the adjustments tab of CapCut, and I've uploaded onto my timeline all the footage that I just took. So all of that talking head stuff that I was just saying. And you can see now I've added the LUT to the timeline, and you can see here the footage before and the footage after. The footage before and the footage after, and it looks a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this, select all, grab all of this footage, go into the adjust tab on the right side, and now the LUT is in my drop down on this side after I imported it already, and select it, and now all of the footage is color graded or color corrected. So I'm gonna put it on mute. I think I'm gonna check that I like the way all of this footage looks, because I wanna make sure I like the settings that I've updated when it comes to like the exposure. I think this footage is a little bit dark, maybe. I want to make sure it's like an accurate representation of the way the scene looks in real life. So I'm going to do a little bit of adjustment on the camera and we'll be right back. Okay, I just updated some of the settings on the camera itself, and we're gonna try that again, and I'm going to add the color grading to this shot here. Okay, so this is the before clip and the way that it looks, really dark. Now I'm going to import the footage I just filmed, and go ahead and apply that new color grading LUT. And that looks better. Before, super dark. Now that looks a little bit too light, but I think that's more realistic to how this shot was filmed and how the lighting actually looks in real life. Much better. All right, I'm filming one last test. This is the last test, the last settings. I dropped the exposure just a little bit since that last scene looked a little bit too bright. I really want to nail this because I'm going to be using this Osmo Pocket a lot next week to film the Torrey Pines event and vlog that entire week in San Diego. All right, we're putting that last clip I just filmed onto the timeline. And now we are going to apply that LUT here. So we're gonna put this before and after side-by-side comparison. This footage looks good and realistic. That one, this one, that one. Honestly, this one's too bright, the one I just changed. I thought the exposure would make it better, but the one from before is a little bit better. So I'm gonna go back to those previous settings. Okay, I lied. One more test. This is the final test. I changed the white balance settings and I dropped the exposure just a little bit. I think I set the white balance to like 4800 instead of auto. and then the exposure down to -0.3. So this is the final test. All right, here's the final test. What I just filmed, we're gonna add the LUT here. And I like this color-wise, but I think it's just a touch too warm. So here's one of the first tests I did, the second test, and then the third test. I think I like this first one the best. I think that looks like the most realistic and representative of the actual scene. This one's just too warm. This should be our final setting right here. The moment we've all been waiting for this final test and this final clip. Let's add this LUT here. And it looks a lot better. We'll scroll through the timeline. And yep, this last one that I just picked looks so much better. I'll put the settings for my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that I have for these clips with the D-Log setting on in the description and on the screen as well. The biggest challenge about filming in log with this color grading is in the viewfinder, it's all gray. So you kind of have to go and just trust your settings, trust the automatic white balance, and trust the other auto adjustments with this D-Log that the camera will make, because you don't know what it's gonna look like until you add that LUT or you do the color grading in post. But it's super worth it to have, you know, a true to setting or true to scene shot. Whereas before, with whatever this auto base settings this camera had, looked really washed out, looked really just incorrect and uncomfortable. The color that was coming out looked kind of queasy, and that's the only way I can explain it. Now I'm doing a quick test with my Sony ZV-E1 paired with the DJI mics. So testing, sorry if that's super loud. Testing. Hopefully the audio is different and everything is syncing with the footage. I'm gonna film all of my vlogs this week on this camera to test what this camera can do and make sure it's a go for all of the filming that I need to do next week in San Diego. I'm only gonna be in San Diego once. I'm only gonna be playing these rounds once. I'm only gonna be having these filming opportunities once, and they need to be good on the first try. I'm not gonna have a lot of extra time to refilm and reshoot and re-explain things and re-edit, so they need to be good on the first try. Hopefully the colors on Appa look good and accurate. She can make any shot look good because she's so cute. I've made myself a lovely dinner. I've got spicy tuna, rice with seaweed, and my book as the entertainment. I won't be watching YouTube over my meal today. I'll be reading because I need to start this book, so I'm starting this book right now. I just finished eating. Someone wanted to join me on the kitchen counter, which is Appa, no, Appa, no. Oh, yep, that's Appa. Appa, please stop. I'm gonna go get my jammies and get comfortable and then keep reading. Appa, no, hey, no. No good reading night is complete without some sleepy time. I'm finally in my reading spot. I have to say, one thing that's super underrated about using a Kindle is not having to worry about lighting at night when you're reading. In the winter, it gets so dark so early that I kind of forget when I'm reading like paper books that I need to have the most obnoxious lighting on in the whole house so that I can read. With my Kindle, I don't have to worry about that, and it just makes it so nice. And being able to read in bed, this is a cheat code to like lay on your side, on your shoulder, and just read like this without needing a light on in the room. Kindle, for that reason, is so nice.